What's up guys, Josh here with terrierowner.com. Today's video is going to be about exercise with your Jack Russell. So instead of just sitting here and talking, I thought it would be fun to take Luna for a run today, the Jack Russell Terrier. So that is what we're going to do. I'm going to take her for a run, then we'll come back and then we will discuss some of the tips, tricks, and things you need to know about exercise for these Jack Russell Terriers, how much of it, what's needed, and what you don't need to worry about when you decide to adopt one of these guys. So let's dive into it. Alright guys, like I said, it is time to take Luna for a run. So what will be needed during this run? Well, you're going to need a few things. First, you're going to need your dog, if running or walking is your preferred exercise of choice. I'm just putting her harness here together. You do not necessarily need a harness. I'm actually not going to be using this harness today. I am still going to put a link in the description below for you. But this is not required unless you have a lot of pulling issues with your Jack Russell, which I will discuss when we're done with the run. And these things are awesome, guys. So we're going to use a around the waist band to take her for a run. It'll extend down, act as her leash, and then I don't have to hold anything. It's just going to connect to my waist. And then of course I need to bring the GoPro head strap here so I can get some footage of it. But I'm going to go grab Luna now, and then we'll start getting on this run and getting into this video. Decent run, a little sweaty. She did awesome though. Overall, she was pulling towards quite a few things. Usually we go early in the morning, so was a little more stimulus out and about today with animals, people, cars, but she seems pretty tired too. We're at a little over about 1.5 miles right now. So I think that's good for her for today. I know it's good for me for today. But as soon as I get back to the house here, we'll cover the rest of the information you need to know about this topic of exercise with these Jack Russells. Took a little bit longer to get back on the camera after the run than I anticipated. It kind of wore me out a little bit. But I want to start diving into the actual benefits of the exercise for a Jack Russell, why it's so important, and how much of it they actually need. So let's start with how often do they need exercise? And the answer to that question is they need it daily in some fashion. It doesn't mean you have to take them like a run like I just did. It could just be something as simple as a walk, but something daily is best for these guys. Tomorrow morning, we'll get back out there. We'll do either a walk or a run, but they need to get out and burn off some of that excess energy. It's gonna help them to behave much better the rest of the day once they're worn out a little bit. And now you've got just the basic benefits that you get when you actually provide that exercise to them. So what are some of those benefits is a good question to ask, and what can you gain from setting aside that time in your schedule? Because let's face it, everybody's busy. I understand that, you understand that, your dog understands that, everybody understands that life is busy. It can be hard to set aside that time to interact with your dogs or to make sure that they get exercise, but when you do, there are some distinct benefits that you gain from it, especially with Jack Russell Terriers. So benefit number one is they are just going to live longer and healthier lives. I don't think anybody can argue that. I mean, they're getting exercise, they're remaining healthier, they're working out their bodies. The more exercise they get, the healthier and the longer they're probably going to live with less health complications in the future. Okay, reason number dos that exercise is so important for these Jack Russells, and it's probably the most beneficial reason that you would get to reap the benefits from, is it is just going to take that nervous energy out of them for the day, especially if you get them out for some strenuous exercise, which is hugely beneficial in the household in general. Mainly because, I mean, I have another dog, I have a child, and when everybody's acting just hectic and full of energy, it can be pretty crazy around the house. So having the ability to get some of that energy out of her so that she's relaxed is nice. It reduces the jumping, it reduces the excessive barking, and it makes her more receptive to other forms of training, which is nice, especially in the beginning with sitting, laying down, come, stay. When they can be receptive to those using something like clicker training or rewards, it is much more, I don't even really know the best word for it. It feels much more worth my while to take the time to train her when she's going to be in the most effective and learning mode possible. And exercise, I know, takes her to that level. And I think that that just goes to speak about this breed in general and how important that exercise is. So make sure that you are going to provide it in some fashion. You also have the reduced nuisance behaviors, is what I would call them. They do not completely disappear. So this isn't some miracle pill you can feed your Jack Russell. Is it important? Yes, but again, it's not a miracle, but it does work. And when I mean nuisance behavior, I'm talking about digging, barking, jumping, nipping when they're young. It doesn't really get rid of that too much, but the other three definitely. They're less yappy, they find ways to get into less trouble when they're worn out. So it should be in your mind each day, how can I tucker this little guy out or this little girl out, whatever the case may be. Tucker them out, everything else will be much better for you. Another thing I want to point out is that you do not have to be only doing a run with them or a walk with them. There's tons of stuff you can do to interact with these guys. You could do swimming. You could take them out to some body of water and throw a ball out there, throw a frisbee. You could do just frisbee. You could do fetch. You could do tug of war. You could just chase them around. You could let them run around out back with another dog. It doesn't really matter how they get it as long as they get it. Make sure that they are getting it and you are good to go. So one of the next questions that people ask pretty frequently, Luna, come here. When it comes to exercise with these guys is how long do you have to do it when you actually get them out and start working with them or providing the exercise to them? And the answer is as long as you feel like it. You don't have, there is no set limit. They don't need a minimum of X or a maximum of Y. It's just get them out and do something with them. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overanalyze it. Just do whatever you can, whenever you can, and you're good. If that's 10 minutes, great. If it's an hour other days, awesome. If you can do longer on the weekends but shorter on the weekdays, no problem. Just get out there, get moving with them, get them doing something, and I promise you everything will be so much easier for you with these dogs. Come say bye. Say, I just went for a run. I'm a little exhausted. Say, I'm just a little bit tired over here. Okay? Okay, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm still crazy. Okay guys, that is about all I have. I feel like my tone's a little bit low in this video, or I'm a little bit exhausted on this one. Probably just the way that I talk after a run with her. More out of breath than usual for sure. But again, we appreciate all of you who've been coming to the channel. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody who's been coming to the channel. And we will see you guys next video.